This was probably the worst decision I've ever made in my life. It happened while I was driving from Chicago straight to Manhattan. The drive was supposed to take around 13 to 14 hours. I started at night because the quiet of night driving felt peaceful at first. But past midnight, I found myself in Erie, Pennsylvania, completely exhausted. I was so tired I could barely keep my eyes open. I knew I couldn't keep going, so I pulled over and booked a small cottage on Airbnb on the edge of town. It was well past midnight. The streets were nearly empty, washed in pale yellow streetlights. The address led me away from the main road into a quiet stretch of Erie, where the houses thinned out and the trees grew closer together. The cottage sat at the end of a narrow lane. I felt uneasy, but I told myself it was just exhaustion messing with my head. I went inside the cottage and passed out on the sofa. The long drive had finally caught up to me. I jolted awake around 4 a.m. A blanket was draped over me. Still half asleep and trying to understand where I was, I realized that the blanket I had was mine. It was supposed to be packed inside my bag, still in my car, and I never unpacked it. My stomach dropped. Someone had been inside the cottage. Someone had been there with me. I also realized I never checked the place. I had just walked in and passed out. The thought gave me the creeps. I barely moved, staying completely still, not just because of what was racing through my mind, but also that I didn't want to get noticed by whoever else was there. The living room opened into a narrow hallway, and I forced myself to check the bedroom. My clothes were on the floor, not tossed around, but neatly laid out, aligned, like someone had arranged them on purpose. Some of them had shallow cuts, almost like ripped jeans, but deliberate, as if someone had taken scissors to them. That's when the panic really set in. I ran out of the cottage and rushed toward my car, slowing down as I got closer, because my car was sitting there with all 4 tires flat. There was no way I was escaping in that car. So I ran into the forest. Thankfully, I still had my phone with me. I ran for several minutes, putting as much distance between myself and that cottage as I could. I hid behind a tree and lowered my phone's brightness and called for help. When the police arrived later, they didn't find anything inside the cottage. Not my clothes, not the blanket, nothing out of place except for my car. Whenever this crosses my mind, I can't shake the thought that I never checked the bathroom. Maybe he was hiding there the whole time. It still keeps me up at night, thinking about how I slept in that cottage while a weird psycho was inside doing whatever the hell he wanted. Hey, if this story made you uncomfortable, you should definitely check this next story.